Mexico. When it comes to doing business in Mexico, it is on a more personal and relaxed experience than doing business here in the U.S. Me being half black and half Mexican and being fluent in Spanish, the information I'm about to give you weighs true to doing business in Mexico. First, I'm going to tell you the business relationships in Mexico, the way they perceive time in businesses in Mexico, and gestures not to do when having a meeting with a Mexican business person. So when it comes to business relationships in Mexico, it's on a more personal level than here in the U.S. The business relationships in Mexico is about being connected on more than just a business level, says the author Pauli, quoting Communicat. Building a business friendship is more important when looking for a job than it is being more qualified than someone. In Mexican business, when it comes to disagreements, Mexican businessmen do not like to say no. What they do is give passive-aggressive answers or remarks, letting you know that their answer actually is no. And do not try to start a disagreement with them, as you will just be hit with more passive-aggressive answers. Just as it seems relaxed business relationships are, the same goes for the possession of time. If a Mexican businessman is late to a meeting, do not take this as disrespect, as to them, time is more flexible. When doing business with a Mexican businessman, make sure that you confirm your time and date for your meetings multiple times before the date comes, as they are likely to cancel meetings without any notice. Business is slower in Mexico. They only work during the week, Monday through Friday, as in the Mexican culture, it is a more family-based culture, and the weekends are for family time. And in Spanish, the word mañana literally means tomorrow, but in the business world, it can either mean next couple of days, weeks, or months. So if you do manage to get a meeting, here are some things not to do. The certain gestures I'm about to tell you get you a negative response from the Mexican businessman that you are doing business with. Do not throw papers onto the desk firmly, as they see that as being rude. Also, do not stare at them for too long, as this is also seen as being rude. Understand that their personal space during conversation is much closer than it is here in the U.S. So if you back away from them while you're speaking to them, they will take that as you trying to distance yourself from the conversation. And do not shake women's hands unless they initiate the handshake. Addressing them correctly, you must call them by their title and then their surname. Never call them by their first name first unless they call you by your first name first. The culture of Mexican business is very different from the way we're used to doing things here. First, I told you the business relationships and how personal they are. Then I told you the way they perceive time and how it is more relaxed for them. And finally, I told you gestures not to do when you have a meeting with a Mexican businessman. With all this information, just because they do business slower does not mean you shouldn't do business with them. As the World Factbook says, their economy is on the rise. Thank you.